Because I know that sometimes I need to, like, turn the stream off and on again to, deal with that. Okay, good. Everything looks good. So, happy spooky month, y'all. This is one of the best times of the year, even though it is not a good spooky month, considering recent events. So, to celebrate, we're going to start off by reading one of my personal favorite fanfictions I've stumbled across in these past few years. I actually, if I recalled correctly, I read this on my YouTube channel back in 2018, I believe? Yeah, 2018. It's a Divergent high school AU fanfiction, not the one that was on Wattpad that we read like a couple months back. This is called Alone Together by Trina the Dark One. And I'm going to zoom in on it so we can all see well. Please don't find my old fanfiction ever. I mean, whether or not I find it will probably depend on, where you published your fanfiction. Today's fanfiction is, stream still, I haven't changed it from the Merry Collage yet, Super Dark, don't worry. I just haven't switched up. I just haven't switched it yet because this is fanfiction.net, so I need to, like, format it slightly differently. I have a ironic love for Mary and her Morag statue babies. Were you there when we watched Mary the Making of a Princess? And her because that was an experience. There's a scene in there where, like, one of the Danish royal advisors was like, "Oh, I preferred the one with the boobies." Just, like, out of context. Anyway, let's switch to the reading section. Alone Together by Trina the Dark One with a Nirvana cover. Named after the song by Fall Out Boy. I called it Young Volcanoes first, but found out someone already named a Divergent fic that what are the odds, haha. There's a new student in Chigaga High, not Chicago High, Chigaga High. 'Cause all we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Gaga. I'm not gonna sing any more of the, of fucking Queen right now, because it's not the time or the place. And Triss feels threatened, and Tobias can't stay away. Radio Shigaga? Yes, exactly, Subadar. Radio Shigaga. Okay. Yes, this is the Divergent series. Divergent is notorious for having terrible fanfiction written of it. So, without further ado, I actually read the first two Divergent books, and it's obviously following the formula young adult dystopians typically followed in the early 2010s. I just never got around to reading book 3, and then I read a summary of what happened in book 3, so I never bothered. Anyway, finally, let's read this bullshit. I finally got to this. I'm glad I got to do this. Brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department. My bestie, Jenna, liked this. Brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department. And so here we go. This is an AU where they're all now time high school. Divergent is the series that killed the Teenstopia franchise. I wouldn't necessarily say that's super dark. There are, like... I feel like what killed it were all of the Hunger Games clones that came out and were not as successful. Yeah, the main... Sorry, Divergent spoilers, Triss dies in the end. Someone clip that, please. But yeah, that's like the one twist. No, it's fine. Like, none of us are Divergent stans here, so... Anyway. Most stuff is different from the original series. Like, Dauntless people are the outcasts like emos and goths and punks. Okay. And Ebony are the stoners. No, they wouldn't be the stoners. Unless if you're referencing that thing where they drugged the water in the Amity faction, so everyone would remain happy. But that's a big yikes. So I would imagine they'd be the people in all the charity clubs and that bullshit. Abnegation are the stuck-up preps. No, they would not be stuck-up preps. They would be the sheltered religious children. And cheerleaders and jocks. Erudite are nerds and geeks. No, those would be the stuck-up preps. I'm going to incorporate all of my Divergent knowledge into this. I apologize in advance. And I guess Divergent kids are in whatever group they want to be. Okay. They fall in a category on there. Incorrect there. Oh. Finally, we can begin the fanfiction. Triss wrapped herself over Tobias in the lunchroom and didn't notice the girl walking in. The girl who walked in was new. She was catching Tobias' thighs with her long, shiny black hair like midnight and her ivory pale skin. Hi, my name is Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven, Way. Her eyes were a haunting and piercing color of blue crystals like limpid tears. He noticed a serpent tattoo spiraling up her neck against the dress code, and she was very thin and fragile looking. She was anorexic with very big boobs. Like, already, this is giving, like, intense My Immortal vibes, but I really do not think this is a troll. Honestly, I haven't even looked into it enough to see if it is a troll, but for now, let's keep going. Oh, if you think this is a big disclaimer, read my inner life disclaimer. That's like 40 minutes of disclaimers. She wore a tight black shirt against dress code and blue skinny jeans and checkered Vans. She pushed hair behind her ear and walked through the room, and Triss lifted her head. She noticed her too. Even though she didn't notice it in the beginning of the paragraph. Who's that? She said loudly. I don't know. Triss rolled her eyes. Whatever. Then she leaned her head back on his shoulder. I saw a bunch of guys and girls staring at me. What's their problem? Probably the fact that you have a serpent tattoo that's visible on your back, even though that's clearly against the American dress code. Maybe it's because you're very thin and fragile looking, almost anorexic with very big bobs. Maybe it's because you have black hair that reaches down your waist with red and purple streaks and blue eyes that look like limpid tears. This is stupid. Why do people feel the need to stare at me? Question mark, exclamation point. This happened at my last school before I moved here with my Aunt Lola. My parents both died in a house robbery when I was 7. I was sleeping, but remember hearing gunshots and yelling and some guy in all black running in my room and telling me to shut up while he took some of my stuff and left. You know, as what happens when you're 7. I called the cops, as you do. Instead of being immediately traumatized at the age of 7, and now I live with my Aunt Lola. Now, before you think I'm still 7 in high school, and LOL, that'd make her and I marry Sue, haha, she's not, don't worry, I'm 17. Honestly, do you think this person is just a troll? Because I feel like I don't want this to just be a troll fic, okay? I want this to have been written by a real person. And you'll find out why later. My name is Bauta Serenity. I just want a normal life in my new school. Is that too much to ask for? Yes. I wish they'd leave me alone. I thought that as a weird guy, I'm assuming Tobias, scoffed at me. So that was chapter 1 in the lonely hour. Do you want to read the reviews at some point? We're gonna read them later. Chapter 2, Black Widow spelled incorrectly. The delicacy of writing. A.N. Ugh, so I started my sophomore year in high school and it sucked. I hate all the idiots there and the principal is so freaking strict. Anyway, story. The Kazumore School of Literature! Honestly, this reads like something I would write in, 7th grade. Not, high school, because by the time I was in high school, I was pretty much, starting to veer away from fandom. Maybe one day we'll read my old fanfiction, but not today. My first class was biology honors. We were allowed to pick our own seats, so I sat in the back near the window. Next to me sat a stocky guy and a dark-skinned girl in front of me. Good luck trying to figure out the seating arrangement. I saw the girl turn back at the guy and wink. He smiled and winked back. Oh my gosh, gross. They're winking. That is against God. They better go to confessionals! I was kind of into fandom still in high school, only kind of stopped being as much into fanfiction and stuff in college. By the time I was a senior in high school, I was so, out of fandom that I started reading terrible fanfiction for laughs. And that's what I'm doing now! The girl looked at me. Sook, you new here? I shrugged. Yeah, I'm Christia, I'm assuming Christina, and this is my boyfriend Will. She put her hand out and I felt weird shaking her hand. I don't do that often. What's your name? Will leaned over to me. Bauta. That's cool, Christina said, with enthusiasm. I guess I never asked what my name meant or why I was named it. I looked it up and it's someplace in Cuba in some Italian mask. You can tell that, Trina the Dark One Googled it. I mean, the masks look hella cool, but why name me after something so pretty? I'm nothing special. You say, as you look thin enough to be anorexic, with big bobs. A lady with a scar down her face walked into the room. Don't know why the scar's there, don't know why the scar was non-negotiable, but okay. Alright, students, I'm Miss Reyes. I don't know who that was. Please take your seats and we will begin, the lady said as stood up front. He was talking and said we'd introduce ourselves up in front of the room. Apparently, it's also the first day of school. That should have also been established in Chapter 1, but apparently not. I grimaced and looked out at the beautiful sunny day. There was an apple tree right outside with fresh apples brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department hanging from the branches. I stopped paying attention and I didn't notice that half the class already introduced themselves within the span of 5 seconds. I looked up and my jaw almost dropped to the guy I was looking at. He was so cute and nerdy, pushing his glasses up his nose. He had dark hair and deep brown eyes. Kind of like that one photo of Mary in the collage where she's in the wheelchair pushing that guy who's married. Just saying. That made ways. I'm Caleb and I'm a senior. I have a sister who's a sophomore. Were you there when I said that he actually looked kind of cute? my god. Yes, that particular person. Her name is Beatrice. When I graduate, I want to go to Harvard, and I stared dreamingly at him. What a cutie! And he seems smart. I like that a lot. He had sat down, and I kept thinking about how I might talk to him. Next thing I knew, Christina got up and introduced herself. Then the others next to Will got up, and then Will did, and it was my turn. I groaned as I got to the front. Great Harvard. Yeah, apparently this is, AU. It takes place out of Chicago High School. I caught Caleb's eye. I hope I'm not blushing. OMG, he's so freaking cute. Oh, the guy has glasses, LOL, so dead, near dead ringer. Well, in the book, I know that Caleb wore glasses at a certain point. I'm not going to, go on a tangent about all the Divergent lore I remember, because Divergent is not really an interesting book. Its world building is questionable at best. So, for now, we'll just keep going. I'm Bauta Serenity. I live with my aunt. I moved here last month. I have blue eyes that look like limpid tears. I don't know what to do when I graduate yet. I went to sit down and I thought I saw Kayla smiling at me. Apparently I'm a Giga Chat equivalent for emos. I actually knew some 2010s emos in high school. They were all lovely, lovely people. I sat in my chair, flustered. Will smiled at me. I thought you did good. Thanks, I grumbled. Later, I left Otter's bio and started to head to AP Algebra. AP Algebra does not exist. There's only calculus and statistics. You're wrong. And someone came up behind me. It was Christina. Hey! Hi! I saw you, she smiled wide. What? I saw how you looked at Caleb Pryor. Be careful. His sis is kind of territorial. I was not expecting an Omegaverse reference here, but here we are. What? I wasn't looking at him. Piffed, yeah, sure. Just as you know, he parks in the lower lot if you want to catch him there. He also spends his free period in the library. Get it? Because he's a nerd and he wants to go to Harvard when he graduates? Get it? Woo! 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 That's the call of the fandom. She walked ahead and I stood still in the hallway. She waved and laughed. OMG, I parked my pink Prius in that lot. Do Priuses even come in pink? Does any car even come in pink? My car certainly doesn't come in pink. Let's hope they skip the non-con on this at least. I mean, this is fanfiction.net. The rules are enforced sporadically, so we'll find out. I would just act cool then. Cars defo come in pink. In the United States, that is? School ended for me with a drama course I decided to take. I walked to the lot where my baby was parked, and I got out my keys. As I was gonna put the key, I heard someone behind me. Hey there! I looked at the reflection. Or Cadillac's pink. Elvis's Cadillac was pink. But knowing Elvis, I'm pretty sure he got that custom made, so... Dunno, lol. It was a tall guy with dark hair and a chiseled jaw. He was very handsome. He was broad-shouldered and could have been a footballer. I turned around. I'm Tobias. I saw you in the cafeteria. Thought I'd say hi. You're new, aren't you? Gender reveal parties not featuring cards. No. Imagine, if you will, going to a party on the mountaintop. There are no mountains in Houston, but this is a pure theoretical. And There, you see a bunch of people saying that they are going to crash a Cadillac at the bottom of the mountain, and the color of the flame will determine the gender. So, they put a brick on the gas pedal and set it on drive. It goes down the mountain and explodes, kablam! And the flames engulf the forest, setting course for a national tragedy. And the flames are blue. It's a boy! Someone please, for the love of God, clip that. That was pure. The whole place is on fire now. I thought I'd say hi. You're new, aren't you? I nodded. I'm Bauta, I said. He smiled. That's a neat name. He looked over his shoulder at a red firebird with a brown-haired girl in it staring at me. Triss is blonde. You can highlight it if you want, instead. My girlfriend has to get it home soon. Talk to you later? I nodded. He left and my heart fluttered like I wanted him back in front of me, looking at me. He was beautiful, but not in the same way as Caleb. They were both nice looking in their own ways. My heart went for both of them. We've already gotten the love triangle. Huzzah! I sighed and got in my car, turned on the radio, and jammed out to Black Widow by Iggy Azalea on my way home. That's not very emo of you, is it? It didn't help because I thought of both of them then. What do I do? I actually think that's where I stopped reading for this. Maybe? We'll find out. Because my fanfiction videos for YouTube were generally like 10 to 15 minutes. These streams are like an hour long. Let's keep going. Chapter 3, stay with me. Sneaking my phone to class to write this because geometry is really boring. Anybody like the story so far? My phone is stupid, so I might have some mistakes I probably won't notice because you'd think my phone would notice them. Whatever, hope you like the chapter. BTW, what does Trish X4 mean? Is that like couples? If so, you'll see. Imagine being both so into fandom and so out of fandom that you don't understand ship pairings. I got to Lola's house and sighed as I parked in the garage. Okay, I have not read this part yet. It's a decent little modern home in a nice suburb. The suburb of Chicago. I went inside and Lola was at the stove in her cute white kitchen with chicken designs on things. Yes. As you do. She saw me and smiled wide. Hello, honey. How was your first day at the new school? She wondered. Yeah, you might have to highlight it. It was kind of long. It was okay, I shrugged. I put my book bag at the chair of the dining room chair. It sat down. Lola came out with a plate of chocolate chip muffins on it on the table. I managed some of these. Eat them quick before the neighborhood kids get here and eat them all up. Because apparently it's now 1957. Nobody visits their neighbors anymore. Especially not now. She went away smiling. I grabbed 2 or 3 and went into my room. I laid on my dark blood red satin bed sheets. I had to open the Divergent wiki because I really don't know who is who. Yeah, sorry. I really don't want to get carried away with Divergent lore. Inside of the red walks covered in band posters and the picture of me and my mom and dad. I remember them. I miss them so much. My iPhone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out to see 2 text messages, one from Christina and a number I didn't know. When did, she give Christina her phone number? That was not established? That should have been established? Anyway. Did he send it? What did she mean by that? I texted her bad. What? And I looked at the other number, and it was a high, and I had a feeling I knew who it was. It's, the janitor, obviously. Christina was calling me, and I picked it up. The fuck? Thank me later. Who texted me? Guess tall, cute, and nerdy. OMG. No, you didn't. It's Left Dude. Left Dude is back. Imagine if I just, like, add an emote once I finally get, like, Twitch affiliate status and it's just Left Dude. And I put him next to Mary. It took a while and I pulled a bunch of strings, but I got it. And she hung up. What? Did she, like, steal her number? What? What do you mean by pulling strings? I was shaking and mad and texted her, OMG, you suck, and texted Caleb back with hi and put his number in my phone. We talked a while about movies and video games and music and books, which we would have shown, but that would be character development, which is against the rules in a fanfiction. He said he had to go to bed, and I realized it was 11 at night. Apparently, she never had dinner, unless if the chocolate chip muffins were her dinner, in which case that's pathetic. And I had been talking to him for literally hours, and so I said goodnight, and he said goodnight with a smiley face. I was so happy. Oh no, the stream burp? Shit. Can y'all hear me now, though? Can y'all hear me now? Good. It's pathetic and entirely relatable. Caleb noticed me. I called... Caleb Senpai noticed me. I called Christina and we talked for 2 hours. It's 11 at night! Go to bed! And talked about Caleb and school, and then we hung up and Jay went to bed with butterflies in my tummy. You better get that checked. I thought the happiness would last forever. So remember how I stuck my phone in a geometry? Well, and was yelled at for having my phone out, so I wrote the rest at home. Hope you liked it. SMH blueberry muffins for dinner sounds healthier than what I usually get up to. Hello. I mean, I can't necessarily cook in my apartment. I don't have, like, stovetops and shit, so mostly I just have frozen dinners. Which I know is not the healthiest thing to do, but I absolutely suck at cleaning. And I kind of don't like cleaning. Because I am not a domesticated woman. I am not your trad wife! Chapter 4, Golden. I should be studying, but I don't feel like it, so I'm writing for Labor Day. No stove. Nope, no stove. LOL, I'm kind of writing other stories too. IDK, if you'll share them, I'll let Jen read them and see what she says. We might co-write together. IDK. Dash. I woke to my alarm clock and yawned, getting out of the bed begrudgingly. I put on dark purple skinny jeans with a lace pattern. Oh god, it's my immortal all over again. Did she drink some blood while coming out of her coffin and take off her Marilyn Manson t-shirt she used for pajamas? I hate how I know so much about my immortal, but I also love it. And then I put on a black... Trying not to be a trad band anymore, so I'm learning cleaning and cooking, LOL. Good for you. Those are good skills to have. I mean, I can cook if I can follow a recipe good enough, but I just don't have the resources. Then I put on a black tank top on, and over that a black jacket and some makeup. I put on black mascara and eyeliner and eyeshadow to accentuate my entrancingly cobalt eyes. Dark eyeshadow makes your eyes look smaller. Just saying. Then I put some lip balm on. I threw on some silver bracelets and a locket my mother owned. I signed and clutched it to my big bobs, closing my eyes and smelling in the cinnamon perfume I put on. I've been told my mom would wear this perfume. I sighed and packed for school. I hopped into my car after being barraged with food from Lola. She loves cooking and thinks I'm too skinny and need more meat in my bones. You're thin enough to be anorexic with very big bobs. You do need more in your belly. I'm skinny, but not that skinny. She's just being dumb. I parked at school, and I was pretty much alone in the parking lot because I got there early. Do you think this author is projecting? Let me know in the comments below. I stretched and reached for my bag and was scared to see a person by my window. I jumped and relaxed. It was just someone walking by, but they stopped. What are they doing? Next thing I know, they have a metal thing and it comes crashing through my window and glasses everywhere. Oh my god, is Triss being territorial? Oh, Triss. No! Oh! Oh! I screamed. The person grabbed my bag and yanked at it, and I screamed at them and tried to bite them. What the fuck? And they smacked me in the face and I moved back. You bastard! And then she looked up and saw it was Vampire Potter! Then a dark figure rammed into their back and I heard fighting and cussing and I shook. I got up furious and charged out of the car and kicked the guy's head and yelled. What's next? Are they gonna do cigarettes and drugs? The other guy got up and kept his foot on the guy's back. Good thing I like to get here early, Tobias said, smiling. Is anyone else getting Twilight vibes from this? Thanks, I gulped. Wow, I never noticed how nice his eyes were. He laughed and grabbed the guy's hair and pulled him up, then got out his phone while restraining him and called he cops. I wish I had like a proper face cam so you could just see like how much I'm just like confused by this. I let out a breath when the cops got there. Apparently they got there in like 5 seconds. And so did some students. People gawked as the guy got taken away. That was easy. Tobias gave his attention to me back at my car where I was still shaking. He touched my shoulder. Don't touch me, I snapped. That moron broke the window. I'll take care of it. I don't have a second period. I'll pay for it if you want. How? With your weed money? Okay. I gulped. If you what? He turned me to Hema and put a hand on my face. I don't know. Yes, all cops are bastards. But this, to be fair, this was 2014. This was before a lot of people realized that all cops were bastards, and still are bastards, I might add. If you'll be okay. I tried to nod. LOL, you should see mine. I'm making the most disgusting, confused expressions. I tried to nod. I was shaking now because of his touch. It was intoxicating. I shook my head and backed away. I gotta get to class. See, you are! People ask me all kinds of questions all day, and I answered some and not others. We would have shown that, but that would have led to character development, which is illegal in this fan fiction. Christina and Will made them all go away when I didn't want to talk anymore. Tobias really did get my window fixed. He paid for it and got it done at a friend's dad's car's place. I thanked him a million times for his help, and he smiled. Okay. Let me just say this. I got into an accident back in January. I got rear-ended. I was found to not be at fault. None of my windows broke, but my tail broke. It took 1 month for that to be fixed because they had to get the supplies and then take the broken bumper off, fix the wiring that was damaged from being rear-ended, and put the new bumper on. And my car is not an American brand, so they had to order some supplies from the country of origin where my car is from. My point is, it doesn't take like 2 hours for your window to be fixed. Especially since it's like a Japanese car, right? Priuses are Japanese, right? Yeah. Anyway, he got out his phone and handed it to me. Let me know if you need anything else. I put my number and name in unbelievably and gave it back. Text you later. Then someone bumped into me and hissed, sorry, and I saw it was Triss, getting territorial. I glared at the back of her head and she turned to glare. Tobias noticed the tension and he pulled her away. We gotta go. I'll see you later. Bauta, wasn't it? I nodded. Triss rolled her eyes. What was with her? You're stealing her man! Windows are easier to fix, but it's definitely not that fast. Yeah. I'm trying to, think of any time, we had a window issue. I can't really think of any at the moment. Then I got in my car and we all went our own ways! Went our own ways! Sorry. I'm pretty sure there's Toyota factories in America. There probably are Toyota factories in America, but how many is the question? When I got home, my phone buzzed, and it was him. Then, left dude texted me too. I smiled and my heart felt as though it couldn't contain the happiness it felt. I ended up sitting at the table eating all the cookies Lola made while texting him and Christina and Will. Life couldn't be better. You know what can take 2 hours super dark? I'll bite. Or so I thought. Bum, bum, bum! Alright. Chapter 5, Burn. So, here's another. I look at my views and why don't you review? I'd like to know if you like it. Also, thanks to the people who either favored it or followed the story. Love you. I couldn't help but post more today, lol. I'm gonna read the reviews. Fuck it. I'm curious now. Please make this be a Fortress fanfic. Hi, I'm Justine wondering, but does this have a plot by any chance? Why is Triss the hoe? I'm pretty sure you're turning this into your own dreamland, no offense. Oh my god. You gotta keep reading this. Please go, Christina begged. Come! On! I don't do parties. Oh, really? You're the one with the cool car and the cool outfits and the thin body with the very big bops. Of course you do parties. You'll like this one, I swear. Somebody I know you like will be there. I blush, thinking it's either Tobias or Left Dude she's talking about. When did she ever tell Christina that she was into Tobias? When? I want to know. This is the stuff you have to establish, Trina the Dark One. Maybe. So you will? I said maybe, I laughed with her. What will I wear? Don't worry, I'll help her. I'll help you, my bad. We should have a sleepover at my house. The comments are the same comedy as the fic. This is like peak 2014. I nodded. Okay, I'll go then. She squealed happily. And nothing else of note happened. Christina and me had a sleepover in her house Friday night. The party would be tomorrow. When I came around 2 hours before the part, we got ready. Missing so many chances for character development. I still don't give a flying fuck about Bauta Serenity. For the love of Christ. Christina and I did one another's makeup and helped with outfits. She wore a pair of blue skinny jeans and a white tank top with some nice bracelet sets and light makeup. She looked so cute. I helped to put her hair in a braid that ran down her shoulders. She curled my hair into soft waves and gasped, saying it was beautiful. I shook my head and went to put on my black shorts and black crop top with small pink hearts. Please don't have it be in the breast area. I don't want to sexualize minors. I also had on light makeup and black checker Converses with some studded earrings, and she has lots of ear piercings. IDK if I mentioned hat before. I put on rings and bracelets made out of black ribbons in my locket. She put a thumbs up at me, and I did it too. Looking hot, she said, laughing, and I laughed too. We decided to head out and got into her blue Subaru Impreza. Don't know why the car brand was important there, but okay. And she drove us to the party. It was a girl at our school's house. Where else would it be? Oh my god! Oh my god! We parked and got out, and she knocked on the door, and we were let in. The music was pumping loud, and Christina grabbed my hand and pulled me through the crowd of people dancing. There were lots of people from school I didn't know well, but a lot of the people with staring problems were there. Ugh. She got us to where the beer was, and she got us 2 solo cups and handed me mine with a grin. I drank it as we aimed our way around, talking to people. The guys I've talked to were either drunk or hitting on me. Or both. You're the chick that got robbed at school. Here you beat up the guy. Ha ha, I like tough girls. How about your number? Who are you? He thumbed his phone out of his pocket. Christina probably saw how grossed out I looked, and she grabbed me and pulled me away. We were talking in a corner until she hit my shoulder and pointed behind me, and I turned around and gulped. Tobias was here, and he was coming to me with a shy smile. Hey, he said over the music when he got to me. Hey, how are you? I nodded. I looked back and Christina was moving away, waving and winking. Again, when was it established that Christina knew this? I blushed. I'm glad to see you here. I didn't think I'd see you anywhere outside of school. He ran his fingers through his hair and he looked amazing. Ooh. Yeah, I know. I wasn't going to come, but Christina insisted. I'm glad she did. Hey, we should do something together sometime, like a movie or something. This is such a wish fulfillment fic. Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds fun. But I said, but before I could say anything else, a blur was in front of my eyes, then Triss was in front of me with her back to Tobias. What do you think you're doing here, slut? She demanded. Excuse me? Wait, Triss, shut up, Tobias! I'm talking to this thing! She looked me up and down. What the fuck is wrong with you, Trina the Dark One? What the legit fuck is wrong with you? Right back at you, princess, I snapped. Oh! Yeah, this is obviously wish fulfillment. Oh, do you want to fight? She challenged. You started this. It would be surprised if you actually finished something you started, I laughed at. Oh my god. What the fuck is this fanfiction? Like, seriously, what the fuck? You started this, you whore. The day you first came here from nowhere. I haven't done anything to you. You're trying to take Tobias from me. Piff Nah, you honestly could have given him what he needed so his eyes wondered. Sorry you couldn't please him. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, this isn't how high school works. At all. You know you shouldn't have come here, she glared at me. You know everyone is just putting up with you. I spit my words at her like venom. By then we got a crowd. Ba 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 da da ba 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 da 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 da. I got some oohs for that one. Her mouth was hanging open. Better close that mouth of yours, sweetie. I put my finger on her chin and shut her mouth for her and smiled before turning and finding Christina pointing and laughing at her from the dancing people. And I want to throw my computer out the window. How about that? I sashayed to her and she took my hand and we danced. I didn't dance much before, but I swayed my hips and grinded and got checked out by a few guys. And you wonder why people stare at you. You're one hell of a dancer, babe. The guy I stood nearby trying to dance with me. Christina danced closer to me to get him away. I looked over my shoulder and saw Tris glaring at me with arms crosses. Tobias seemed to be gone. The hands were on my sides and I turned around and there was Left Dude smiling down at me. I'm just gonna keep calling Caleb Left Dude as we establish that he looks like Left Dude. Except, you know, way younger. Hey, I said brightly. Hi back. Ha back. We didn't say anything else, just dance. He danced close, our bodies crushing together. He smelled of cologne. His face was close to mine and he had a suggestive grin. I hoped my face wasn't red. Next thing I knew, he was closing the space in between our faces and his lips touched mine when I returned the kiss hungrily. I threw my arms around his neck and his arms tightened around my waist and pulled me closer as our tongues went into each other's mouths. I pulled away breathless. I gulped. He let out a small laugh. You're so cute, he said. I giggled. You're pretty cute yourself. My heart was beating fast and I pulled out of his arms. Excuse me, I'll be right back. He nodded. I went through the halls of the house and stopped at the sound of yelling coming from a bed space room. It wasn't anyone getting lucky, I knew that. You like that whore? I never said I like that. My heart sucks. Toyas doesn't like me back? You don't have to say it's your action. It's your actions. They say it all. I heard nothing from a bit. I'm out. You call me later and tell me what you'll do and who you choose. I entered another room across the hall as Tris stormed out. I saw Tobias walk out silently. Hey, I said from the other door. Oh, hi. Sorry about all that. Not your fault. I heard him sigh. Then I gave him a hug. Maybe it'd help. He squeezed me tight and did something I didn't think could happen. He kissed my head. Still up for hanging out sometime? I nodded. Cool. See you around then. And then he left. I sighed. And we're done. Good night.